Picture this. It's 2 a.m. Your phone is dead. No streetlights, no security cameras, no police, no neighbors, just endless darkness. And somewhere out there, something is watching you. Something faster than you, stronger than you. And here's the scary part. It doesn't see you as a person. It sees you as dinner. Sounds like the plot of a horror movie, right? Well, for our ancestors, that was just Tuesday. Today, humans sit at the top of the food chain. We build skyscrapers, launch rockets, and complain when the Wi-Fi goes out for 5 minutes. But rewind the clock tens of thousands of years. And humans weren't the hunters. We were the hunted. There was a time when stepping outside your cave could literally be the last thing you ever did. Massive predators stalked the land. Giant cats hid in the shadows. Monstrous hyenas prowled the night. And some creatures were so terrifying that even modern lions would probably look at them and say, "Yeah, I'm staying out of this one." So what were these mysterious predators? Did they actually hunt humans? How did our ancestors survive? And why are these forgotten monsters one of the greatest mysteries of the Stone Age? Let's travel back to a world where humans weren't kings. They were prey. Most people imagine early humans as fearless cavemen carrying giant clubs and dominating everything around them. Reality check. Early humans were actually pretty vulnerable. Think about it. A tiger has claws. A bear has incredible strength. A wolf has speed. A crocodile has armor-like skin and jaws powerful enough to crush bones. Humans, we had a decent brain and anxiety. That's pretty much it. We didn't have sharp teeth. We couldn't run particularly fast. We couldn't fly. We couldn't climb trees like monkeys. We didn't even have thick fur to protect us from the cold. If you dropped an early human into the wilderness alone, they weren't the final boss. They were the side quest. The Stone Age wasn't some peaceful adventure where people sat around campfires singing songs. It was survival mode 24/7. Every rustle in the bushes could mean danger. Every strange sound could mean death. And nighttime was absolutely terrifying, because that's when the hunters came out. Now let's talk about one of the most terrifying predators our ancestors ever faced. The cave lion. This wasn't your average lion. This beast was significantly larger than the African lions we know today. Some weighed over 700 pounds. Imagine a lion. Now make it bigger, stronger, more aggressive, and remove every zoo fence between you and it. That's a cave lion. These giant predators roamed across Europe and Asia during the Ice Age, and they lived in many of the same places as early humans. Scientists have found evidence suggesting that cave lions occasionally attacked humans, not because humans were their favorite food, but because hungry predators aren't exactly picky eaters. Imagine you're sitting around a campfire, your family is nearby, the fire is crackling, everything seems calm. Then you hear a roar, a deep roar, the kind of sound that instantly reminds you where you stand in the food chain. Suddenly, nobody's hungry anymore, nobody's talking, because somewhere in the darkness, a giant predator might be looking for its next meal, and that meal might be you. As scary as giant lions were. There was another predator that might have been even more terrifying. The giant hyena. Modern hyenas already have one of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom, but their prehistoric cousins were on another level. These massive scavengers and hunters could crush bones like potato chips. Scientists have discovered caves filled with animal remains that appear to have been dragged there by giant hyenas. And among those remains, human bones. Think about how creepy that is. A predator strong enough to drag your body away and crush your skeleton drag your body away and crush your skeleton afterward. No thanks. What's even worse is that hyenas often travel in groups. One giant hyena is bad enough. A whole pack? That's nightmare fuel. Imagine hearing laughter in the darkness. Except it's not people. It's a pack of hungry predators. Suddenly your cave starts feeling a lot smaller. Now let's meet one of the most famous predators in history. The saber-toothed cat. And no, technically it wasn't a tiger. Hollywood just decided that saber-toothed tiger sounded cooler. This predator looked like something straight out of a fantasy movie. Its upper canine teeth could grow nearly a foot long. Seriously, imagine a giant cat carrying 2 steak knives attached to its face. That thing wasn't chasing prey across long distances. It was an ambush hunter. It hid, waited, and exploded out of cover when the moment was right. The victim often had only seconds to react. Now imagine being an early human gathering berries. You're focused on finding food. Everything seems normal. Then suddenly, a giant predator with sword-sized teeth launches from the bushes. At that point, your survival plan basically becomes run and hope for a miracle. Here's something most people never think about. The ground wasn't the only danger. The sky could be dangerous too. Some prehistoric birds of prey were enormous. Certain species were capable of taking down surprisingly large animals. While there's still debate among scientists, many researchers believe that small children would have been particularly vulnerable to attacks from giant birds. Imagine being a Stone Age parent. Today you're worried about screen time. Back then, you were worried about your kid getting snatched by a bird the size of a small airplane. Different times, different problems. When we talk about Stone Age predators, it's easy to focus on giant cats and monstrous hyenas. But the real enemy might have been fear itself. Imagine living every day knowing that something could kill you at almost any moment. No hospitals, no emergency services, no rescue helicopters. One mistake could end everything. And yet, people still had to find food, raise children, travel, sleep, build shelters. Life didn't stop just because danger existed. In many ways, early humans were tougher than we can imagine, because they faced fear every single day, and kept going anyway. So here's the big question. If humans were so weak, why didn't we go extinct? The answer is simple. Brains beat claws. Eventually, humans discovered something no other predator had. Teamwork. A lion hunts with instinct. Humans hunt with strategy. A wolf follows patterns. Humans create plans. A bear relies on strength. Humans rely on intelligence. Early humans learned to communicate. They shared information. They warned each other about danger. They worked together. And suddenly the rules started changing. Because one human is vulnerable. But 20 humans working together? That's a different story. If there was one invention that completely transformed human survival, it was fire. Fire provided warmth, light, protection, and confidence. Most predators naturally avoid flames. For the first time, humans had a way to push back against the darkness. Imagine what that must have felt like. For generations, night belonged to predators. Then suddenly, humans created tiny artificial suns. The darkness no longer felt unbeatable, and neither did the monsters hiding inside it. Fire wasn't just a tool, it was humanity's first superpower. As centuries passed, humans became smarter, their tools improved, their weapons improved, their cooperation improved. Stone spears became deadlier, hunting techniques became more sophisticated, communication became more effective, and slowly, the balance of power shifted. The hunters became the hunted. The predators that once terrorized humanity began disappearing. Some went extinct because of climate change. Others struggled as humans expanded across the world. The age of giant predators was ending, and the age of humans was beginning. But here's the crazy part. Those ancient predators may be gone, yet their legacy still lives inside us. Ever wonder why strange noises in the dark make you nervous? Why shadows sometimes seem threatening? Why being alone in the wilderness feels uncomfortable? That's not weakness. That's ancient survival programming. Your brain still carries instincts that helped your ancestors survive for thousands of years. Because long before cities existed, before technology, before civilization, someone in your family tree survived. They escaped the cave lion, saber-toothed cat, protected their children, kept the fire burning, and lived long enough to pass their story forward, generation after generation, until eventually, you arrived. And maybe that's the greatest Stone Age mystery of all. Not how terrifying those monsters were, but how a fragile species with no claws, no fangs, and no superpowers managed to survive them all and take over the world.